All right, today we are diving deep into a masterclass in betrayal. This is the story of a heist that was actually built to fail from the very beginning. It's about a leader so blinded by his own ambition, he couldn't see the knife at his back, and a lieutenant whose real prize wasn't gold, but a cold, hard reckoning. Let's break down how it all went so wrong, or, for one man, how it went perfectly right. So this is it, the climax. That's the desperate roar of a man realizing his most trusted partner has just completely orchestrated his downfall. But how did we get here, right? How does a foolproof heist turn into a blood-soaked trap? Let's rewind and see how the pieces were put in place. You have to picture this. It all kicks off on a foggy morning in Prosperity Gulch. The mist is hanging heavy over everything, and it's masking more than just the town. The crew's leader, Silas Black, is giving this big speech, pumping everyone up with promises of riches and glory. And he has no idea that the real plan is already in motion, being run by the man standing right next to him. And that right there, that's the absolute heart of this whole thing. On the surface, the goal was simple: get rich, get out. But underneath, there were two very different currents flowing. One was Silas's pure, uncut greed. The other was Elias's quiet, burning need for vengeance. And those two currents were heading for a nasty collision. Here it is, laid out plain and simple. For Silas, this is all about his ego, about the money, about the legend. But for his second-in-command, Elias Thorne, the gold means nothing. His prize is something else entirely, a final, definitive reckoning. This clash is the engine that drives every single move from here on out. So how does a betrayal of this scale actually begin? Well, it's not with a loud bang, but with a quiet twist, a single, seemingly simple order that gets corrupted. This is the very first move in Elias's long game. Silas's order, it's pretty textbook. He sends Elias and another guy, Finn, to create a diversion. The plan is simple. Hit the general store on the west side of town, make a whole lot of noise, and pull the law away from the real target, which is the bank. Easy enough, right? But here it is, the first deception. Elias completely ignores the order. He doesn't take Finn to the general store. Instead, they plant a charge near the livery stable. See, the goal wasn't to cause real damage. It was just about the noise. They set off this massive but basically harmless explosion that sends the sheriff and all his deputies running in the exact wrong direction, just as planned. By Elias, of course. So with the lawmen off chasing ghosts, Silas and his main crew hit the bank, thinking their path is totally clear. They're feeling confident, they're feeling invincible. But they're not walking towards a fortune. They're walking straight into a trap that has been meticulously laid out for them. See, Elias had been very, very busy. He didn't just tweak the diversion, he orchestrated the entire response from the law. He'd already leaked info to lawmen in the next county over, making sure reinforcements were already on the move. And this is the real kicker. He planned an escape route, but not for everybody. And now, snap, the trap springs shut. While Silas's crew is wasting precious time on a vault that's been mysteriously reinforced, those extra lawmen that Elias called in show up. But not from the west, where the fake diversion was. No, they come from the east, completely boxing them in. Elias didn't just plan a failed heist. He turned the entire town square into a kill box. So the bank job is a total disaster. The streets are just a chaotic mess of gunfire. And somewhere in all that smoke and panic, a furious Silas Black finally gets it. This isn't bad luck. He's been set up. He's been betrayed. And then he sees it. Through a break in the smoke, Silas spots him. Elias isn't fighting his way out of the trap. He's calmly leading a few select people, Whiskey Jack, Martha May, others who were tired of Silas's reckless leadership, towards that secret escape route. The betrayal isn't just a suspicion anymore. It's happening right in front of his eyes. And the accusation just explodes out of him. It's raw, it's furious, and it cuts right through the noise of the gunfight. The two men, once practically brothers, are now locked in their final, fatal confrontation. For Silas, the gold is gone from his mind. The escape plan, irrelevant. All that matters in the entire world right now is revenge. He just abandons the failed heist and charges straight across the street, firing like a madman. This is personal now. Now, to really understand what happens next, you have to understand this gun, the Judas Colt. It's more than just a weapon to Silas. It's a symbol. It's a trophy he won through his own act of betrayal years ago. That gun is the foundation of his entire reputation. It's the core of who he thinks he is. And this part is just fascinating. Elias has a clear shot at Silas. He could end the whole thing right there. But he doesn't. He aims lower, with absolute ice-cold precision. His target isn't the man himself, it's the symbol of the man. Elias fires one single, deliberate shot. And with that one bullet, the confrontation, the battle, and Silas Black's entire legend just come to a shattering end. The bullet hits, and the pearl-handled grip just explodes into pieces. The gun, that symbol of all of Silas's power and cruelty, is sent spinning into the dirt, broken, useless. And in that exact instant, you can tell something inside Silas breaks right along with it. He just stops. All the fight, all the rage, it just drains right out of him. He's just staring at his empty hand and then at the broken pieces of his power lying in the street. It's like his spirit shattered with the gun. Without that symbol, Silas Black isn't a fearsome outlaw anymore. He is, quite simply, one broken man. And the aftermath from there is swift. Silas, now just a hollowed shell of the man he was just moments before, is captured easily. His reign is over, and Elias, along with the few he saved, they just vanish into the chaos. The score between them has finally, and brutally, been settled. So in the end, the most devastating blow in Prosperity Gulch wasn't a bullet to the heart, but a bullet to a symbol. It just goes to show you that sometimes the most effective way to destroy an enemy isn't to kill them, but to shatter the very idea of who they think they are. It leaves you with a question, doesn't it? What are the symbols you rely on, and what would happen if they were suddenly destroyed?